Well, this is going to be annoying. Factor 5x to the fourth minus 9x squared plus 4. First things first. This is a quartic that looks quadratic. How do I know that? Because you're x to the fourth, you're x squared, and you have nothing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to say, let's let x squared be the same as a. So now you are 5a squared minus 9a plus 4. And you're like, oh, yeah, now that looks quadratic. Good job. Now, this is one of those things where the Nick Parrish way or the math teacher goat way of doing this, I like to kind of split this up into different combinations. I like to find out what possible numbers you can multiply out to 5, so I'll write out 1 and 5. Now, this is negative 9 here, so the possible combinations that multiply out to a 4, right, that also add up to a negative 9 are both going to be negative. So one possibility is going to be negative 1 and negative 4, or negative 4 and negative 1, or negative 2 and negative 2. And fortunately, those are the only options. Now, the Nick Parrish way of doing this, as opposed to other ways of doing these types of factoring where the first coefficient is not 1, I like to pick numbers and multiply the insides and then multiply the outsides. I like this one. Okay, if I multiply the 1 to negative 4, that gets me negative 4. If I multiply the 5 to negative 1, that gets me negative 5. That adds up to my negative 9. So the combination that works for me is 5, 1 and negative 4, negative 1. So I'm going to build my parentheses based off of that information. 5 and 1 are attached to my a's. So 5 is going to be here. 1 is going to be here. Okay, negative 4 and negative 1 are attached to my constant, so I'll put negative 4 here and negative 1 here, right, in that order. Now, you could look at this and say, I don't need that 1 there. Great. So if you write out 5a minus 4 and regular a minus 1, you're not good enough. Why? There's no a's in the original problem. Remember, a is x squared, so my final answer is going to be 5x squared minus 4 times the quantity x squared minus 1. And you take a look at that, and you might be happy and think that you're done. But wait a gosh darned minute. X squared minus 1, that's difference of squares. So I can't do anything with 5x squared minus 4, but x squared minus 1 actually factors out to x plus 1, x minus 1. So let me write that up here where I have a little bit more space. Okay, my final answer, 5x squared minus 4, can't do anything about that. Now, if that was x squared minus 4, we could, but that 5, then you got x plus 1, then you got x minus 1. That's going to be our final answer. Ooh, I love those problems. Fun stuff.